All right, let's get to some vaccine mandates, specifically the one coming from the White House. President Biden's new COVID vaccine mandate for all private businesses with more than 100 employees, which counts for a lot of businesses, and it counts for hundreds of thousands of people in Oregon alone. These businesses will either have to make sure that their people are vaccinated or test them once a week. Now, I know what you're thinking, or what you might be thinking. Maybe you're thinking, is this legal? A lot of people are questioning the legality of this, including some Republican governors. Nan sent me this question. Hasn't the Supreme Court already ruled that vaccine mandates are legal? This happened over 100 years ago, so why do people think they aren't? Can you please talk about this? Sure. And first of all, Nan, you are right. In 1905, the Supreme Court signed off on vaccine mandates, mandatory vaccines after a smallpox outbreak in Massachusetts. At the time, the court held that in every well-ordered society charged with the duty of conserving the safety of its members, the rights of the individual in respect of his liberty may at times, under the pressure of great dangers, be subject to such restraint, to be enforced by reasonable regulations as the safety of the general public may demand. So yes, there is a legal precedent for the government mandating vaccines. Now, that doesn't mean people won't challenge it, okay? That doesn't mean that, but the precedent is there. Now, Audrey sent me this email. With Biden's vaccine mandate, does that apply to government agencies? And that's a good question, Audrey. Thank you for writing it in. It does not. It only applies to private businesses, although a lot of government agencies do have their own vaccine mandates. For instance, Governor Kate Brown is requiring all executive branch employees to get vaccinated, and the city of Portland is doing the same with its employees, except for police, which we told you about earlier this week. New guidance from the state says police are, quote, probably not covered by the mandate because providing medical care is not a fundamental part of their job. Now, you might be thinking, that's confusing. Why is providing medical care a condition for police when it comes to the vaccine, but not for some receptionist at City Hall, for instance? Well, it's a complicated answer, and we're working on clarifying that for you now, so stay tuned. But for now, the bottom line is the city can't force police to get vaccinated, and Multnomah County is saying the same about its sheriff's office. We should mention that Portland police did release some info about officers' vaccine status. The Bureau says at least 600 sworn members are vaccinated out of 795 on the force, which is a little more than 75%. That's not terrible. It's not a terrible number, 75%. I'd like it to be 100%, but it's not terrible. Why don't we check in to see how the rest of the state is doing? More than 2.74 million Oregonians have gotten at least their first dose. That's about 65.1% of the state's entire population. And that includes everybody, even kids under 12 who can't get vaccinated yet. In Washington, more than 5.26 million people have gotten at least their first dose. That works out to be a little bit more than 69% of the state's entire population, including kids.